Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the IRL PlayStation F3 League, sponsored by Nailcode Hall and brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. I'm Mark. Alongside me in the commentary box is Eden. Eden, you ready for tonight?
I am ready. What we got here, just 3 races to go now, Mark. And last week in France, wow, that served up a. When we eventually got going, bear in mind, that served up a real treat, didn't it? And the way it was going, it looked like David 46 was going to surrender his long lead of this championship. But by a lot of slices of luck, David 46 ended up extending his championship lead because of misfortunes for JP and Tinas.
Yeah, he actually extended his lead by 3 points, and he is leading this championship from round 2 onwards. So almost the whole season he was in the lead of this championship, and well, he's on 103 points at the moment, and Tinas is not that far behind on 96 points. So still anything to play for, and you can never rule out JP as well with 81 points, but he has some work to do. Um, is he still in a position to be a title contender, in your opinion, JP?
Yes, I do think he is, but he has to turn up tonight and score big points. I think 2 DNFs in a row has really hurt his chance because he had that such a good run of form, didn't he? What got him into the opportunity to fight for this title. Now he's had 2 DNFs. He cannot afford to score low points tonight because I do think that probably will spell the end of his chances of winning the championship. But we know how quick JP is. We know he can deliver. So if he could pull out a win tonight or a podium tonight and outscore the people above him, then I think he'll be right in there. But I think tonight is going to be crucial because he cannot afford to get a non-scoring race again because that really will hurt him. But look at last week. Anything can happen, can't it? We saw Tina's crash out. We saw himself crash out. David 46 wasn't really having the best of races. So with 3 races to go, I really could not call how it's going to go.
Yeah, true, but also JP, if he wins like every race, he is still David 46. If he just finished on the podium or in the top 4, he will still finish in front of JP. So it will definitely be a difficult task for the Mercedes driver to stay in contention. He needs a mistake from David 46 and even Tinas, I think. But yeah, let's see the constructors table. Red Bull, what a race they had around France. Amazing result. They're in the lead of the constructors standings and in the constructors championship with 135 points. And a look at the last, well, around 3 races. They scored
Yeah.
massive points. And if you look at Ferrari, Alpine, and the Mercedes boys, yeah, they left a lot of points there. And yeah, that's killing
Yeah.
their title hopes, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think Red Bull have shown, as we just discussed just briefly off air, Red Bull have shown to just keep their noses clean, make sure they're in the top 10 and fighting for good points, and they will score maximum points. And last week, maximum points, first and second, it was a fantastic result for Red Bull, and this has put them in the driving seat now for that constructors' title. And if the likes of Mercedes, Alpine, and Ferrari don't book their ideas up quickly, Red Bull could have this wrapped up sooner rather than later because at the minute, Red Bull, both their drivers, as we see, look there, Mark, it's overcast. I don't know if we're going to get some weather. We sometimes do in China, but as I was about to say, Red Bull is showing that both drivers can score good points, whereas the other drivers, at the minute, only one driver's potentially scoring points and the other one's struggling. So if you're going to win that constructors with 3 races to go, you need as much points as possible for not from one driver, from both drivers in that team. So yeah, Red Bull showing the rest of them how it's going on. Not heard anything yet though from our weather guys, so
Oh,
be interested to see.
I did there, Aaron.
Let's hear it.
And
Let's
it's
hear it.
going to be a dry race and a dry quali.
Ah.
So so it's gonna be dry. So but not that it makes this track any easier, in my opinion. It's a difficult track with some highly technical sectors.
Yeah.
Especially like the turn 1. You know, you need to get the braking right and get the car turned in while braking, and that's so hard to do it without any lockups or things like that. So let's see how the guys can do it. Should be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Me personally, we've not been here for a while here in Invictus. Me personally, I do like this track. I think it does provide some great racing. I do particularly like the second sector. It could be very technical and tricky, and if you don't nail the corners quite right, you are going to suffer with a fast lap around here in qualifying. So it'd be fascinating to see how these guys do around here. And you've got that really long back straight as well, which can provide some overtaking opportunities. Who dares put their foot on the brake the last and see if they can send one down the inside into that sharp hairpin at the end of the straight. We're heading round now with plenty of cars on track. Who have you got your eye on at the minute, Mark?
Well, I'm riding aboard with Michael Lutke at the moment. He's the first guy to start a lap time, to start a lap, and he is just in the hairpin in sector 3, coming up to the start-finish straight, warming up his tires, and into the last corner now. So let's see what he's going to do. And as you just mentioned, this track is so difficult to get your setup right, because in some parts, especially turn 1 and sector 2, you need the downforce. But then sector 3 and the start-finish straight, you want none of it, because you need the straight line speed. So it will be interesting to see what happens.
Turn 1, turn 2, sorry. Louis, last week's race winner, has completely lost it. Luckily for him, there's plenty of runoff there, so he's not ended up in the wall, and he's ended up facing the wrong way, just reversing the car back out of the gravel. Now Louis lives to fight another day, so unfortunately not the start he would have wanted in that Red Bull.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him, but luckily he can still drive, get his car back into the pits, new set of tires, and start from scratch. Let's see what Michael Lutke can do in his first lap. He is about to enter the long back straight, looking for the traction in the long right-hander coming up to the straight. There he is in 8th gear, DRS wide open. And can he get the braking on point? First time with full speed. A bit of a luck up on the front right tire there, but nothing too much. So that won't cost him a lot of lap time, I think, at least. Coming up to the start-finish straight, the first time of the evening from Michael Lutke, a 32.5, and that's a really good sign. I think that's a really, really good sign. As a banker lap, of course.
We shall see in a moment, because our championship leader is coming across the line now for his first time. He does a 32.6, not too far off of Michael Lutke's time there. So, as you say, that's a decent banker lap, isn't it, from Michael Lutke there? David 46, I was just riding on board and got a lovely toe off of O. Stephen down that back straight. I don't think O. Stephen was planning on giving him a lovely toe, but he did, and I think that would have definitely helped David 46. But that's a decent lap mark from JP there, the Mercedes driver, 33.6 on the medium tyres, so he's faster than some guys already on the soft tyres, so that's a good banker lap for him on tyres.
Yeah, but we see Emke coming up to the back straight, and let's see what his time will be. I reckon the pole lap will be around a 31.5.6, so I think there's plenty of time to find. But as a banker lap from Michael Lutke, I think it's a good lap. And what will Emke do? Emke is in the sector 3, in the final sector of the track, into the hairpin right now. Good on the braking, no lockups for as far as I can tell. So will he be able to beat the time of Michael Lutke there? Ooh, the exit was not that good, but his time will be a 32.8.
Not too bad. Emke there, not too bad. I'm riding on board with Jack at TM in the Alfa Romeo at the moment. It's a bit of a scruffy lap. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. He's running wide a few corners, and he's had to just adjust himself. He's coming down to the long straight on the back of the track now in the pink helmet. What do you make of Jack? He's new to this league. He's shown some good pace in races. Unfortunate to pick up some penalties here and there, but I think for myself, he's shown that he can battle with these guys this season. I think a full season under his belt next season will do him the world of good after this early start to his Invictus career.
Yeah, I think so too. He just needs some some experience. He needs to get the races in, the laps in, and get used to the close racing as we have here in the Invictus Racing League. And it's always close, it's always fair. So he needs to get used to it, and yeah, I'm sure he will be there next season. And if he can keep it on track, can keep it out of the penalties and stuff like that, he will be a serious title contender, I think, because the pure pace is there for him. So so let's see. And good evening to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing good and well, and well, hopefully you're up for an amazing race. So let's see what the guys can bring us around China.
Oof. That's a good lap from Daryl Whiffin there, Mark. Great lap from Daryl Whiffin, just fractionally quicker than Michael Lutke. I was riding on board with him for the second half of his lap, and he absolutely nailed the second half of that lap. So a decent lap there, and Daryl Whiffin, like Red Bull last week, showing good pace again this evening. His teammate Louis, who had that spin, is going through the same corner now. No mistakes this time for Louis on his next fast lap. So see, can Louis get up with his teammate now and make it a Red Bull front row?
Yeah, I'm riding aboard with Louis now in Sector 1 at 24.3 is his first sector time. It's looking good so far for him. He needs to lift off a little bit in the long left-hander in Sector 2. That's not what you want in a quaddy there. Maybe he can make up for it on the long straight. Maybe he chooses for a bit of a low down for Seto to and he's just taking the loss in Sector 2, but who knows? Let's find out when he's entering the long straight, and I think we will see some plenty of overtaking here during the race. DRS is here. It's a long straight. It's a perfect opportunity to outbrake someone. Let's see what Louis can do. Russman is predicting a podium for Michael Lutke, David 46 and JP.
Interesting.
All right. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. But first, let's see what Louis can do. His first time, 32.9. Brings him into P6.
Not too bad, but I think Louis probably wanted to have been a bit closer to his teammate Daryl. It's about 4/10 of a gap there. I'm riding on board with David 46 again, and now he's on his second flying run of the evening. David 46, just about a tenth off the fastest lap of the minute, and I think he needs to have a good qualifying, I think, tonight, David 46. He's qualified a bit lower down than he probably would have wanted to in the last few races. So if he can get himself on the front two rows this evening, then it could really stand him good for getting a good result tonight and really pushing for that championship. He's fractionally up in the second sector on his previous fastest time. So, he's run a little wide there in that long right-hander before the start, the long straight at the back of the track. So that will compromise him, won't it? After running wide there, he'll lose time going down it. So be hoping he don't lose too much time. Wants to make sure he gets his brake right into this hairpin here. There, you don't want to outbrake yourself, run too deep. It looks nice and tidy there from Dave Foster. So he's coming up to the final corner now. Can he improve on that 32.60 he's done? Round the final corner, coming across the line now. Oh, he does fractionally go quicker than what he did, but not enough to dislodge Michael Lutke and Daryl Whiffin. So David 46 stays in P3 for now.
Michael Lutke is doing a good lap so far. He's in Sector 3. It's a make or break Sector 4. Oh no, he loses it. He lost the car. He lost it in the long right-hander just before the long back straight, but he can continue. Luckily for him, he needs to start over and go back to the pits.
Wow. Well, just a change on drivers. Emke is just under 2/10 faster than his previous time in the first sector. As we see Tinas, good lap there, Mark. Tinas, 32.3. We haven't seen much or spoken much about Tinas so far this evening. He's kept a bit quiet, but he's put himself right on the top there. Great lap from him. I'm just keeping an eye on Emke. Emke gets the second sector is 2.5 tenths up MK, so it's probably not going to challenge Tinus's time at the moment, but it should definitely put him within, say, Michael Lutke and Daryl Whiffy's time if he can nail that final sector.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. He is just over 2 tenths up. Coming into the hairpin. It's looking good for him so far, but 2 tenths won't be enough. He needs to gain a bit more time, I think, but maybe sector 3 can be the place for him.
Oh,
P1 32.2, amazing lap. The sector 3,
wow.
That was brilliant.
That was some sector 3, Mark, because as I said, he come through sector 2 and he was 2.5 tenths up. So wow, that is some going from Emke there, and the qualifying master of F3 this season is right up there again, and I'm sure Tinus will have something to potentially say about that later on with 5.5 minutes left on the clock, Mark. How are you seeing this going? We've got Michael Lucky out on track. He's invalidated. So Michael Lucky will be staying in fourth. Daryl Whiffin in third now. So how are you looking for this? You think with 5 minutes to go on the clock?
Well,
Can we see Empty staying up there?
I'm riding aboard with Cosmesi now, and his lap looks pretty quick. So let's see if he can have an amazing sector 3. He might be challenged for the top 3 positions here. But he is out of ERS, only 6% left, so that's not much, but let's see what he can do. He's a bit late on the throttle here in my opinion, but let's see what his time can be. He's coming across the line in a still P7 32.7. So sector 3 wasn't really good for him, unfortunately, because his first 2 sectors were really good. Louis is starting his lap as well. He is in sector 1. He's just around 2 tenths quicker than his own time. That won't bring him enough. I think that will bring him maybe P6, P7. So he needs to find more. He needs to find some time in sector 2. So let's see if he can join his Red Bull. Oh, he was really wide there on the curb zone. Almost lost the car. But he just about kept it on track, and he is still 3.5 tenths quicker than his own time. But I think if he finishes this lap, he won't have enough time to drive back into the pits, get a new set of tires and go out again. So that is... what would you do if you were him? Just go into the pits, get a new set of tires and try again, or just finish his lap, because he is 3.5 tenths faster.
He is, but could he have been faster if he'd have... He's finishing the lap off, Mark. Could he have been faster if he'd not made that issue?
Whoa,
wow.
32 flat. That's a good lap time.
So, would he have been in the 31s if he hadn't had that mistake?
100%, mate. He almost lost the car. Easily lost 1.5 tenths there, in my opinion.
Wow.
So he easily lost some time. Yeah, that's a good lap time, but I still expect to see some quicker lap times. Maybe into the 31.5 to 6s. That should be the time we were looking to see, but yeah, let's see what the guys can do. Emke and Tinus are in the pits. Tinus just drives out. Daryl is on the out lap. Michael Lutke is still in the pits. And David 46 is on a lap now.
I would say JP is also on a lap in the Mercedes, first time on those soft tyres, I believe. So JP 32.6. It'd be interesting to see, can he get anywhere near Louis' time? Carry on, Mark.
Yeah, let's ride aboard with JP for his lap time. But interestingly, sector 1, he is slower than his own time.
Oh.
That's interesting to see. Yeah, JP has spent quite many this and bad luck. Has to be an excellent weekend here, is what Rens is saying. Yeah, I got to agree, mate. And your next comment, would love to see Malaysia back instead of China. 100% agree, mate. I love Malaysia. But back to JP. What can he do on this lap time? He is in sector 3, going up to the long start-finish straight. Opening up is DRS. Can he get closer to the top? He definitely needs to get closer to the top to stay in the title contention, I think. Especially with his rivals in P3 and P6 just in front of him. And JP will cross the line in a 32 flat as well, but takes the provisional pole from Louis. Really good lap time there from JP, and that's exactly what he needed. David 46 stays in P7. Our championship leader will start the race, well, maybe in P7 or even worse, because I don't think he can do another lap. But maybe I am wrong.
Pushing for another lap. I think he is pushing for another lap. He was 6 seconds down on that lap, so I don't know if he made a mistake somewhere and then saved his ERS, but he's pushing for another lap. But at the moment, in the first sector, he's a tenth and a half down, so he's going to have to find some time in the last 2 sectors if he's going to do any better than P7 this evening.
Yeah, maybe he's still pushing. Let's see what he can do then in this last lap. And Tines is in his final run, but is not looking to improve himself. It's around 2 tenths slower than his own time.
One person who's about to improve is Daryl Whiffin. Daryl Whiffin is absolutely flying here in P5. A 32.5 is his time. He's coming across the line now. What could Daryl Whiffin do? Oh, he doesn't improve by much, though, unfortunately. He does improve, but he doesn't get it within the top 4. Daryl Whiffin will be P5.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe Tines can pull off an amazing sector 3. No, he goes into the pits. Michael Lutke here is on a hot lap, driving behind his own teammate, O'Steven, who needs to get out of the way. His own teammate, O'Steven, is screwing up the whole lap of Michael Lutke here.
Oh dear.
What is happening here with the McLaren boys?
Wow. But Michael Lutke, Mark, is... Oh, he's lost it!
Yeah, but he was up so much more time than this. His own teammate screwed his lap time over there. They won't be happy with each other.
I don't know if they were trying some sort of toe, but surely you wouldn't do it through the twisty section there. You would do it down that back straight, no? So that was a weird scenario there for the McLaren team, and in the end, that's not resulted in anything for either of them. So unfortunately, Michael Lutke is 7th and O'Steven 12th. David 46 did improve on that lap to a 32.3, but he's put an extra lap of wear onto those tyres, so he'll be starting with 2 lap old soft tyres at start rate, just behind his teammate Emke. Bear in mind, didn't come out for another run, so Emke stayed in 3rd.
No, I think we have the result of the qualifying session. I think everyone is done and no one is doing an improvement or a quali lap. So that means JP will take the pole position in the Chinese Grand Prix, and that's exactly what he needs. That's exactly what he needs to get. And Jack will start the race on the medium tires. He's qualified in P9. Starting on mediums, that's a good advantage, I think. If you can...
Yeah, I'm gonna say most definitely. I think Jack, if he can stay with the soft guys early on, he can put himself in a real good position later on in this race.
Yeah, I think so. This race should be an easy one-stop, soft to medium or medium to soft. So that's a good position for him. But let's see, JP in P1 for this race, Louis P2. Then both the Ferrari guys, P3 and P4. Tines P5, Daryl Whiffin P6, Michael Lutke in P7, Cos Messi P8, Jack P9, Dave in P10, Bruce Lee Harding 11th, O'Steven P12, Suspert P13, JPH is in a P14, and then we have at the back Evan Richard in the Williams, who didn't set a lap time. So Eden, who is your early favorite for this race?
That's a good question. You'd have to go with the pole man. JP, he didn't look like he was going to pull that out of the bag, but he once again proved me wrong and made me look a bit silly. So I'd have to go with the pole man, but I think it's crucial that David 46 managed to improve on his time and get right up there because he doesn't want to be behind Tinas and JP at the start of this race and having to try and play catch up. But it's good getting that one lap banker in. But will it be in the back of JP's mind that he's had 2 DNFs in a row? And is he going to play a bit more reserved than what he would normally, or is he just going to go full at it again? I don't know how he's going to play this because you try and go for it full whack and you make a mistake again, you go out of this race, that's pretty much championship over, isn't it? So
Yeah.
JP surely will have that in the back of his mind, maybe, that he knows now that a non-point scoring finish could really ruin his seasons.
Yeah.
But he's done the best thing, hasn't he, by getting on that pole position?
Definitely, that's the best position possible, but he will be driving with some pressure on his shoulders. That's one thing I know for sure. But then, Adam, asking the real questions here in the chat.
Okay.
What fine beverage are you accompanied with, commentators?
I've just got a little orange squash here at the moment along with me whenever I get a chance to have a quick drink during this race. But yeah, what about yourself? To be honest, I didn't expect that.
No, that's a good question there, Rens. Well, myself, I have 2 bottles of drink here. I got 1 bottle of water, and a can of Coke. So
Nice.
I can switch it up if I want
choice.
to.
Where were these questions last week? You know, when we had all these issues with trying to get the race underway, we should have had a commentator's Q&A that could have been a lot more interesting and listened to us drivel on about anything. But
that would be fun.
Yeah, great question. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can redo it now if they can't start this race.
Well, there you go. We can have a commentator's Q&A, can't we? If this hopefully doesn't happen again as last week. Outside the top 10 mark, interesting strategy calls. Nobody outside the top 10 is running the soft tyre. Bruce Lee Harding and JPH, the Alpine boys, are running the medium tyre, whereas everybody else, O'Stevens, the Spud, and F1 Richard, are on the hard tyre. What do you make of that?
The only question I can ask is why on earth would you pick the hard tires? That I don't think that's a good strategy, to be honest. But maybe they can prove me wrong, of course. Rens, Delange, you're like a vending machine. I'm happy to take your money, mate. Sure. But let's see what the guys can do. And on the hard tires, I don't know. I think, personally, I think that's the wrong decision. You know, you won't have any grip at the start of the race. The drivers will drive away, and then it is a one-stop soft to medium or medium to soft. So you will be always in a disadvantage, in my opinion.
Yeah, surely I was thinking, surely you'd be constantly playing catch up to the guys ahead on better tyres, and by the time you've got your hard tyres in the optimal window, you could find yourself a dozen seconds behind the cars ahead, if not more, and it's certainly a very big ask to make those positions back up. So, the brave move, but like you said, I hope they prove us wrong tonight. But that hard tyre. Yeah, it's a bold strategy, I think, from Spud, O'Stephen and Richard. But they're coming around the final few corners now, Mark. Here we go. Let's hope they can bring us yet another exciting race this evening.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe a safety car timed at a good moment that can save the strategy, maybe. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they picked the perfect strategy and I have no clue what I'm talking about. That could be. So let's see if they are correct. I hope for them they are, but let's see what this race will bring. This is the IRL PlayStation F3 League, sponsored by Nilcourt Hall and brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com. Let's see who will have the good start and take a look at the lights. Will they actually go on and off this night? There we go, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway, and it seems to me like the Red Bull of Louis has an amazing start into the lead of this Grand Prix, and even Emke is battling with JP for P2, but JP is doing it really smart on the inside of the long turn 1. Emke tries to stick his nose in. Can they keep it clean? Oh, Emke almost lost the car, but he is on the track, luckily. And Louis and JP fighting now. both late on the brakes, and JP is still in P2. Good start there from both the Red Bulls. I think P1 and P3, that's where they need to be.
Well, MK allowing his teammates to go past, but I don't think he was anticipating Tinas following David 46 through. Tinas tried his hardest. Oh, MK and Tinas almost collided there. MK will be doing his hardest now to try and keep that Aston Martin driver behind him, and MK just about does it, but Tinas is under all sorts of pressure from Jack here on those medium tyres. So Tinas tried to think about going after MK, but he's under pressure from Jack behind in 7th.
Yes, an amazing race start and a really clean one as well for as far as I can tell. And JP is going for the move on Louis. At the end of the back straight, is placing his car really wide on the exit, and yeah, he got the move done, and Daryl in the gearbox of his own teammate. So can the Red Bulls fight back, or is the pace of JP too quick at this moment of the race? And we see the first pit stop is Cosmesi. Ooh, outbrakes himself entering the pits. But he is coming in right now. I'm sure there must be some damage for the AlphaTauri driver.
Oh, Jack and Michael looking through turns 2 and 3, side by side action. Jack having a great start on those medium tyres. He was challenging Tinas. Still have second behind Tinas, but Michael Lucky is making life really difficult for him in P8. A great battle here for 5th down, really. MK just trying to keep Tinas behind, but Tinas trying to catch David 46, but he's got the likes of Jack and Michael Lucky behind, trying to take that position off him. Jack just runs slightly wide, might ruin. No, he's all right. Jack corrects himself, and Jack will be hoping to stay onto the back of Tinas. Tinas now putting MK under all sorts of pressure. He's going to send a move here. No, he's not.
Not yet.
Tinas would be desperate.
Yeah.
He'd be desperate, won't he, Mark, to get past this Ferrari, because he'll want to follow David 46 past here. But MK has had a wobble.
Oh, Tinas lost it. Tinas lost the car.
Oh no!
Oh, he just lost the rear end in the long right-hander, just coming up into the back straight.
Oh,
and Michael
no.
Lutke as well. Michael Lutke has lost his front wing.
Oh wow! Did he hit Tinas? I didn't actually see what happened to Michael Lutke.
No, they didn't hit each other, but I'm not sure what happened with Michael Lutke there.
I was riding on board with MK, and he ran wide through the right-hander, and the door opened for Tinas, and I think Tinas must have lost it through trying to overtake MK during that right-hand turn instead of waiting for the start, the long straight. So we've got a yellow flag out there. It was briefly out there, and it's gone again. But MK started to lose time to his teammate Ed, but David 46 putting all sorts of pressure on Daryl Whiffin in 3rd place now.
Yeah, I was riding aboard with Tinas, and he took the inside line into the long right-hander, and he lost the rear, and he just basically lost it. Tried to keep the car from spinning, and was in the grass and lost loads of time. And what happened to Michael Lutke? I don't know. He could have been maybe tangled up in something. I didn't catch it. But
Daryl Whiffin ran wide. Sorry, Mark. Daryl Whiffin run wide, and this is going to provide a great opportunity for David 46 now. Daryl Whiffin looking like he's really struggling here, going through the right-hander where we've just seen 2 cars lose it. Daryl Whiffin has lost a heap load of time to his teammate ahead, so this should be an easy move for David 46 into 3rd place. Here he comes, DRS wide open, breezes past the Red Bull, no problems at all. David 46
sorry to interrupt you there,
into
mate.
3rd.
Tinas is off again. He's in the grass at the exact same point. It looks to me as his car is still intact, but he is all the way down on P13, and that's not what he is needing in this title fight. He needs to score good points.
Daryl Whiffin has been tagged. Daryl Whiffin and David 46, our championship leader. They tagged each other through the final corner. I don't know who were at fault, but the pair of them on the final corner was facing the wrong way round. David 46 is down in 12th now. Daryl Whiffin 10th, and look at this opportunity for JP now.
And David
JP
46
is leading this race.
Sorry, there. David 46 has wing damage. There is wing damage on that Ferrari, and he needs to do the whole lap.
Wow. I can say what an opportunity this is now for JP. Tina's 13th, David 46 in 12th. JP's leading this race. He could score massive points over his tyre rival here if he can win this race now.
Yeah, definitely. He just needs to keep it on track.
I think the problem JP's got though is Louis is only half a second now behind the Mercedes driver, so JP is going to be under massive pressure here. What do you do if you were JP now? Would you fight for your life, try to hold on to that first place, or you think, right, play it safe here, if Louis passes me, he passes me, still score as many points as you can tonight because my tyre rifles are struggling?
He needs to think about a championship, and it's only lap 4 out of 28, so if I were him and Louis is quicker at this stage, I would just let Louis pass at one of the straights. He is not suffering, then maybe he can save even some ERS because he can stay in the DRS of the Red Bull. And yeah, that's what I should have done. So let's see, maybe he's doing it here.
I have to say, what a race it has been so far for Jack, hey? He's in 3rd place on those medium tyres. He's ahead of Emke. He's in such a great position. Tina's now, to add more injury to what's happened to him tonight, he has just picked up a time penalty as well. So yeah, good. Jack in 3rd place. He's 4 seconds behind the fight at the front, but he's not going to be bothered about that, is he? He's on those medium tyres, looking strong, playing it sensible, and at the moment, Jack is in a fantastic position here to score potentially a race win or even a podium at this rate.
Yeah, Jack is looking really competitive, and he might be even looking at the race win. The gap is only 4 seconds, and the tires will come to him, and he will have the soft tires at the end of this race, so he will be lightning fast if there's no safety car in this race. So let's see, and it will be really interesting to see what will happen with Jack in this race, but we will find out soon enough. Louis is still trying to get closer to JP. DRS open, but I think the gap is a bit too much. He is not using any ERS, he's just trying to get closer. Don't outbrake yourself. It's easily done around here because what Rens is saying, you completely correct there. You know, it's such a long part of the track and your brakes will cool down.
No.
Oh no,
Tinas has gone off again. Yeah, Tinas has gone off again earlier in the 2nd sector though this time, and that has allowed David 46 to go past. Dave DeCarla, by the way, was in 5th place, has just pitted on those soft tyres. I don't know if that's an early stop for those soft tyres or whether he's got wing damage, but Dave DeCarla, first of those soft runners really to stop on lap 5. But yeah, disaster, absolute disaster for Tinas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not turning out to be his night. He needs to stay calm. He is having a shock of a race so far. He needs to stay calm and just bring the car home, because at this rate, if you just keep on losing the car, you know, there will be a time he can't catch it and he will be out of this race. So he needs to finish, and you know, he's in P14, so he needs to gain some places as well. So it will be really difficult for him, I think, tonight. But luckily, David 46, luckily for Tinas, is in P13, so he's not scoring any points.
We could see a change for the lead here, Mark. Louis is much closer than he was the previous lap. Just about 4/10. He's gaining now. DRS, he might just be a bit too far away. He's gonna no. He's got much closer to the back of that Mercedes. Unfortunately, he just needed to be a 10th closer to the back of that Mercedes. I think he would have got the move done, but it's brought him so close to the back of JP now. These two having a good old battle as they cross the line for lap 7. Jack hanging on in there though. Look, still only around 4 seconds, and he's built a gap to Emke behind in 4th place. So yeah, this is looking very good for Jack at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, Jack is looking really good. But if you ask me, this is pure strategy from Louis. He wasn't using any ERS on that straight, just the DRS and the slipstream. So I think he don't want to pass at this moment in time. Maybe he just wants to stay close and gain some of the ERS and not use it, and then get the move done and unleash the speed he maybe what's in the Red Bull. So let's see what he can do now. He needs to stay close then. But as you said, Jack only 3.6 seconds now. So could this be the time where the tires of Jack will be coming alive compared to the old softs from JP and Louis? Will he close the gap to them now? I think he might be.
Look at Louis. Louis is much closer here, Mark. Will there be a move this time? Will there be a move? He was pretty much pushing JP around that right-hand corner.
He's
Here we
going
go.
for it. He's using ERS. DRS is open. And he's close to ERS again as soon as the DRS opens. So I think we got exactly the same thing now. He don't want to do the overtake now. It's his choice from Louis to not do the overtake.
Oh, they both pitted, Mark. They both pitted.
Oh, Louis is a bit wide on the entry. He lost around half a second there. That's a bit unlucky. But now let's see who will come out on top. This is... I'm sure Louis thought to do the undercut here. But JP is coming in as well.
JP has come out onto the mediums. Louis has come out on hard tyres.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm not sure what to say about that. I'll leave it to you, all the guys in the chat. What do you think about this tire choice? Who will be in the advantage? Will it be JP or Louis?
Oh.
JP on the mediums, Louis on the hard. Sorry there.
What a move, what a move. JPH around the outside in sector 2 of Emke. Emke's soft tyres must have gone, or he's made a mistake, because JP has absolutely played a blinder there. And great move. And now Bruce Lee Harding, JPH's teammate, is putting all sorts of pressure. And it looks like now, Mark, those medium tyres are in their element now, and JP really taking advantage. JPH, sorry, is really taking advantage of them, and JPH are pulling away from Emke. And I think Emke really does need to pit now, because he's about to get swarmed by another Alpine of Bruce Lee Harding. Here comes Bruce Lee Harding now. Emke does have DRS, so he will be able to defend, but it looks like Bruce Lee Harding just got that bit more. Is he going to be able to do anything? No, Bruce Lee Harding not going to be able to do anything to that hairpin. But yeah, Emke very deep there. Can Bruce Lee Harding get anything around this final corner? No. Does Emke come in? Yes, he had to come in. He had to come in. He lost so much time in that lap. Emke into the pits from P4.
And that's really a good thing for Bruce Lee Harding, because the hard drivers with O'Stephen in the lead of him were closing in. So Bruce Lee Harding needs some clear air to create a gap between himself and O'Stephen. Gap is now 2.2 seconds, so let's see what they will do. Emke is in the pits. And he's coming out of it right now, and he is losing a position to Dave here, and I think also to Daryl. No, not to Daryl. Daryl is just behind Emke here. And Rens is saying, hards are not bad if you know how to use them on this track. Okay, maybe I'm wrong then. Or maybe I just simply don't know how to use them around this track. I think that's the case, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of China.
I think one person who might be knowing how to use these hard tyres is Louis. He's hanging on to the back of JP. Was around 9/10. It's just crept up to a second. Was around 9/10, but he's hanging on to the back of JP. And I think JP had been hoping on those new medium tyres he'd pull away from Louis. But it's not the case at the minute. Louis staying there and staying just within DRS of the Mercedes guy. So yeah, doing a good job on those houses. We've got a yellow flag. Dave DeCarla has lost it at where's he lost it there? Just before the long right-hander, before the back straight. So yeah, Dave DeCarla was facing the wrong way. He was having a decent race, unfortunately for Dave DeCarla. Doesn't appear to have any damage, but that's dropped him down to P12.
Yeah, in the meantime, we've seen a good overtake in the DRS zone from F1 Richard on O'Stephen. O'Stephen had a bit of a moment coming up to the back straight, and F1 Richard said thank you, used his DRS, used his ERS, and got the move done pretty easily. So F1 Richard is up to P4 and is top of the hard drivers now. So yeah, this race is playing out a little bit now, and we are waiting to see the medium runners pit first. with Jack, JPH. Let's see what they come out on track. They will have a massive tire advantage when they do pit.
Yes, yes, definitely. And interesting with Jack, look at the gap. He's actually built the gap to JPH. When JPH had got past MK, it was around 3.8 seconds, 3.9 seconds. Jack has built it up to 5-second lead at the front now. So this has been a very impressive stint. It's now 5.2 seconds. So a very impressive stint from Jack at the moment. Both the LP guys not really do anything about it, with F1 Richard not too far behind in fourth place, 2.8 seconds on those hard tyres. So they're slowly starting to catch those medium runners at the front, but not enough. Oh, Stephen trying to be a pain in the pest to F1 Richard, not letting F1 Richard get away, and F1 Richard trying his hardest to just build the gap to Stephen, but obviously hanging on in there nicely.
Yeah, he's doing really well so far, and he's looking to score good points if he continues on like this. I was riding aboard with Kost Messi, our Greek driver. He is trying to close down MK, but he just lost a lot of time in Sector 2 and the beginning of Sector 3, so that's unfortunate for him. He was doing really well, closing him down, but he needs to do it all again, and let's see if he can do it. But his tires are 7 laps old, and I think the only reason he closed down is because MK, his tires were not on temperature yet, and he's got a lap in now, MK, on his tires, so I think MK will benefit from the fresher tires and will drive away now. Where can we see a good battle on track at this moment? I think the closest battle at the moment is O. Steven and F1 Richard, so let's see. O. Steven really wide there. Really wide, but I think you can get away with it on this game. He was just in the DRS zone, or just out of it. I couldn't see it really clearly, so let's see. Is the rear wing of O. Steven opening up? Yes, it is. He's got the DRS on F1 Richard, and he is closing in. Wow, what an advantage is the DRS on this track. He closed in almost over 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, it's the closest battle, as you say. O. Steven really can't get past F1 Richard, and I was saying F1 Richard was gaining on the top 3. He's actually lost some time. O. Steven put him under real pressure. Down with him, bear in mind, in the back, further back I should say, is just made a move onto Spud. He's down with him up to P8 now. So Spud having a difficult race, it seems. He also started on those hard tyres, but he's a long way off the other hard running guys of F1 Richard O. Steven. So tough evening for Spud at the minute, down in P9.
Yeah, it's not been his evening so far. Same goes for the likes of Dave, Tines and Michael. They I'm sure they are hoping for a safety car to get back into the fight, because even Michael is even like 5 seconds off P14, so he will be hoping for a safety car or something. Tines, on the other hand, is really close to Dave. Gap is on. Whoa, Dave is really wide there, and Tines flew by. Get the move done. That's one way to do it.
Wow, I thought they were going to hit there. That was a close one.
Yeah, it definitely was. But I don't think I can watch Tines do the long right-hander anymore, because I watched him do it twice, and both of the times he crashed out. So I will switch to another driver.
MK. Switch to MK. He's just about to make a move on Spud. He's in 10th place. So Spud doesn't really have any answer whatsoever here. So Spud should lose this position. MK.
Ooh, and
they tag. Yeah, they tagged there. That should have been an easy, straightforward move for MK. And so Spud, they're just about to get away with it. I don't believe any of them have got any damage. And MK does get past for P9. JPH, who was in second, is coming out of the pits now. Where's this going to bring him out? It's going to bring him out, in front of MK. Wow. So that's a hell of a stint there for JPH. As JPH out in front of MK into P8.
But he has some something to do because the gap between Louis and Daryl is around 12 seconds. So he needs to close it down.
He also needs to stop again, am I right? He was already on the medium tyres. He's on a set of medium tyres again. So he needs to pit again, JPH. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you're right there. He's doing the 2-stop.
Wow. Interesting call there. I hope it pays off for him.
But look at Jack, mate. Look at Jack. The gap is 10 seconds to P2. 10 seconds.
Phenomenal race for him so far. I've rode on board with him a few times this evening. He's looked clean. He's looked tidy. He's going around for another lap. He's not thinking of commentator's curse there. First time I've seen him make a slight mistake, and that was in that final corner, just slightly wide there. Got on the curb, but got away with it. He's not lost too much time. I think he lost about 0.3 of a second, so nothing too bad. Meanwhile, JPH, who is on this 2-stop strategy, just got past Daryl Whiffen, but Daryl Whiffen will be hoping to get the move back. No, he's not going to be able to do it. So JPH up into 7th place, and he really needs to make the strategy work now, or a safety car, because JPH is going to have to pit again at some point.
Yeah, he does. So quite surprised to see this. I would expect him to stay out a bit longer and go to the soft, but yeah, clearly it wasn't his plan. But the Alpine boys, they're known for being really consistent, so let's see what he can do in these 2 stints on the medium, and I'm sure the last stint will be on the softs.
Interesting. Coming up now, Mark, JP is in 5th place. He's catching up to the back of the hard-running guys. He's 0.4 of a second behind O'Stephen. He's the first target. Can he get the move done? O'Stephen, I believe, yes, O'Stephen's outside of the DRS now of F1 Richards. So if JP could get this corner smoothly, he should be able to pick O'Stephen off nicely. O'Stephen on 13-lap old hard tyres. So here comes JP now, 0.6 of a second behind. So he might be a bit too far behind to get the move done on this go. He's having a good go. DRS, ERS, everything enabled. I think it's good. No, is he going to send? No, he's not. I thought he was going to send one down the inside there for a second mark, but he played it safe. And he needs to clear these cars quickly, though, because Louis will be wanting to try use this advantage of him being stuck behind that McLaren quickly. But O'Stephen now should be easy pickings for JP. Here we go. Round the outside. That's an interesting move from JP. Nicely done there. Into P3. Next target is F1 Richard. And meanwhile, Jack, our race leader, has pitted. He's now coming out onto a set of soft tyres for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, it's a bit early, I think. It's a really bit early for this pit stop. I would have stayed out for, I think, 2 or 3 more laps. His tires will be at the end of their lives at the end of this stint, but maybe he can keep them in a good window. Let's see what he can do. F1 Richard is closing up to Bruce Lee Harding. I think the mediums from Bruce Lee are quite done. F1 Richard on the hard tires. He will be fighting for the lead of this race in no time. He's waiting for a long back straight with the DRS. And something happened to cost Messi.
Yeah, cost Messi's lost it in the second sector, facing the wrong way around. Didn't see, unfortunately, what had happened, but the Alpha Tauri driver facing the wrong way. He's dropped him down to P13, just ahead of Dave DiCarlo. Dave DiCarlo trying one round the outside, and now cost Messi drops down to P14.
To interrupt you there, mate. F1 Richard was trying to do the move for the lead, but Bruce Lee Harding was defending really well, and F1 Richard actually lost some time there compared to the Alpine driver. But he will have another go, but he needs to get it done now because JP is only 0.2 behind now, and JP will go for the move on the inside in turn 1. Can he get it done?
Oh.
He's got the move done, and he is in the gearbox of Bruce Lee Harding now. And he will be looking to overtake him at the next braking zone, I think. Is it close enough? The gap is only 0.3. Can JP pull this off right here? No, he can't. He needs to wait, and he needs to play the smart game here.
you can certainly tell Bruce Lee Harding's medium tyres are definitely gone. You could see the difference in traction JP has got to Bruce Lee Harding out some of these corners. Bruce Lee Harding's almost tiptoeing around some of these corners. JP now pretty much pushing the Alpine around the corners. Wow, he was almost sat in that car with Bruce Lee Harding there. But this should be an easy move here, Mark. And Bruce Lee Harding might not only get overtaken by one car, but it might be two as well, because F1 Richard is right on the back of JP. So Bruce Lee Harding could get mugged from two different directions here. So JP now coming for the race lead now should be an easy move this, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's easily done for him. There we go, he's just flying by, but he is using a lot of ERS. Only 19% left for JP, but he is back into the lead, and he will be trying to get the gap now. What about Jack? Jack's picked up a time penalty. I missed that. But he's got a time penalty worth of 3 seconds. But he is on the soft tires. And immediately he puts on the fastest lap of the race.
You've got the hard-running guys as Emke picks up a time penalty. The hard-running guys, except for Spud, have pitted. So, interesting call there. F1 Richard and O Stephen have not opted for the soft tyre. They've gone for the medium tyre. Would you have gone for the soft tyre?
100%. Yeah, they can easily make it now.
I find that quite strange, really. You'd have thought bolt on a set of soft tyres now and you'll be lightning fast, but no, they clearly don't like the soft tyre and they've gone for the medium tyre. So can they make it work for them and get some moves done on the car's edge? So Spud still has to pit, so there's one position they will get, but other than that, I think it could be a bit of a task for O'Stephen and F1 Richard now. But F1 Richard in 7th place, ahead of Davey 46. Davey 46 found himself back into the points in P8. Can he climb up any further, gain any more points? He really needs to now. JP is in 1st place.
Yeah, definitely. But watch Louis. He is going to try the overtake, and Bruce Lee Harding goes up for the move on the inside, under braking, no lockups whatsoever. But Bruce Lee Harding is fighting back. Can he stick it around the outside of the final corner? And he goes to the pits, if I'm correct. Bruce Lee Harding into the pits.
Look at the pressure here, though, Mark. Louis is under massive pressure from Jack here. 2/10 per second. Jack on those soft tyres. Louis on the hard tyres. Louis runs a bit wide there. Oh, it's Jack. Oh, that's so close to contact there. But Louis will be hoping to try go after JP. But Louis got nothing to do here. And there you go. Jack into 2nd place on those soft tyres. So now Jack in 2nd place. Can he make those soft tyres last? He's got another 10 laps to make them last. Next target, if he can, is JP, 1.6 seconds up the road.
Yeah, Jack is flying at the moment, but his tires will have a really hard time at the end of this race. While JP, his tires might be, well, I would say in a bit of a better condition, but I'm not too sure about that because they're already 9 laps old. So they will be on 19 laps old mediums at the end of this race, and well, that won't be any good as well.
Spud has collided with Bruce Lee Harding and he's spun out. He's hit one of the brake marker boards and he's now facing sideways off the track. Oh, he was trying to let the Michael Lutke past. And so I was just about to say, so Spud on really old hard tyres now, 70-lap old tyres, and everybody was swarming around him and they collided at the last moment. Bruce Lee Harding on those soft tyres, and unfortunately, this strategy of Spud's trying to make these hard tyres go to the very end and maybe do a Alex Albon style strategy has now really gone to put now because he still needs to pit. He's down in P13 as well. So unfortunately for Spud, I don't think he's going to be scoring points tonight.
Yeah, but look at this. Jack is all over the back of JP now. Only 2/10 at the exit here. And he will be, I think he needs to wait for the back straight to do the move cleanly. Otherwise there's a lot of risk, of course. This should be an easy overtake for the Alfa Romeo driver. All right, let's see. They're coming up to the start-finish straight, and Jack already on the inside of JP. And he gets the move done before the exit of the corner. Wow. That's amazing. And he's even got the DRS. That's amazing. But now he needs to break the 3 seconds because he got the time penalty, of course.
He has, and that's the thing now. Can he make these soft tyres work and build himself that gap? Has Jack pushed too hard early on in this stint on those soft tyres, and is he going to burn them out sooner than we expect? JP hanging on to the back of him, and that's all he needs to do right now, isn't it? JP needs to hang on to the back of Jack for as long as he can. If Jack's still showing this good pace, he can build the gap to Louis behind, who's 2.7 seconds behind JP now. So yeah, can Jack make this strategy work, or has he pushed too hard too soon?
Well, I think Jack, he needs to break the DRS now and then is able to manage the gap. But he needs to break the DRS because that's so important, and he just done it. 1.1 second is the gap, and this might be the race winning move then for Jack if he can stay clear of any other penalties, because he's already got 3 seconds, but if he gets another one, that will be 6 seconds, and I don't think he will get a 6 seconds gap to JP. But let's see, I could be wrong. But the gap is almost up to 2 seconds already. Jack is flying. We have a yellow flag in sector 1. Dave is DNF'd in this race. I think he did it in the pits, so
yeah, that would be a disaster for Jack, wouldn't it? Now, if there is a safety car towards the end of this race with that 3 seconds of penalties hanging over him, because if you have 2 or 3 laps of safety car, suddenly it's going to be very difficult for him to build that 3 seconds back up. But 2.1, 2.2 seconds now to JP. Louis starting as well to also come back at JP. It was 2.8 seconds, wasn't it? It's now 1.7 seconds. So Louis coming back in 1.6 seconds now. So Louis come back into this fight to JP. So yeah, I don't know how to call this in a minute, Mo. If Jack keeps pushing the way he's doing a fine race, builds that 3 seconds, this could be, like you say, the race-winning move. But what does JP do here? Does he hope that Jack's tyres go off? How does JP approach this? Or do you think, I've got more points than David 46 and Tinas at the moment, play for the points?
Nah, I think he's just going to play for the points at this rate. Something happened. I think that's cost Messi. Messi had a bit of a problem at the hairpin in sector 3. He was really slow there. I think he lost it, and Surspot's all over the back of him now. I'm sure Surspot will try to do the move as soon as possible on the fresh softs under his Haas car, and that should be an easy move for him. Joe, good evening, mates. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the final 7 laps of this race.
Interesting, Mark. Oh, wow, Jack is pitted. Our race leader's pitted.
Oh, why?
Wow. So, had he just taken too much life out of those tyres early on? Or has he got damage?
I think
no, he's not got damage.
I think he was planning to do the 2-stop. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Wow, I did not see that at all. So Jack's going to come out in P6. Yeah, just ahead of David 46. But JPH is on those medium tyres still, but he needs to still pit. As far as I'm aware, he didn't start on soft tyres. So if he's done a double medium stint, he definitely still needs to pit. So he's in 3rd place at the minute. So he's going to have to do a Jack here and 2-stop, which I'm surprised Jack did that. I'm really surprised, but my only guess is that he took too much life out of those tyres pushing to attack JP. But Jack is already on the offensive here, round the outside, now the inside of F1 Richard. P5 is Jack's already. Good move there from Jack. Up into P5. Can he build that bridge and catch Emke now. It's 4.5 seconds up the road next.
Yeah, you know what, mate? I think Louis could grab this win. He's on the hard tires, but the hard tires will be in a much better condition at the end of this race compared to the mediums of JP. Louis did what he was supposed to do and stick with JP. That's really impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
You could be right. 1.7 seconds now. So yeah, who knows? As we see, JPH has come into the pit. So as we were talking, JPH from third place into pits. Imagine he must be bolting on a set of softs. If he goes for hards, then he may as well just retire.
Yeah.
So yeah, the soft tyres going on to the Alpine driver. That promotes David 46, who has had a bit of a mishmash of a race. He's found himself back up into P6 this evening. So that is a good recovery from our championship leader this evening after being down in 13th place at one point. So yeah, that's solid from him. That also promotes Jack up into P4, Emke up to P3. But Jack, look at Jack, he's absolutely motoring here. Now going down to 1.8 seconds behind Emke, but the pair of them have got time penalties as well. So Jack, with this two-stop strategy, could still find himself on the podium.
Yeah, I think he can. He is so quick at this moment. He's already closed the gap to Emke and is in the DRS zone as well. Well, just out of it, but there we go, under a second now. So let's move to Jack right above with him, and I'm pretty sure we'll see a move here. Maybe not on this straight, but maybe on the start-finish straight, because he has by far the better tire, and he will do it already on the back straight on the outside. Oh, there was a bit of contact there. But all good, both drivers can continue, and Jack is back up to P3. Back onto the podium, then the gap is 13 seconds now to Louis. And Louis, look at the gap between JP and Louis, 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, I was just about to say that he has started to reel in JP now with 4 laps left. I think this is where the hard tyre will come into its elements. So can Louis get within that DRS? If he can get within that DRS, then the pressure really is on JP here on those medium tyres. 4 laps left. We've got battles at the back as well. Oh, Brucey Harding, apologies. Brucey Harding has pitted again. So both the Alpine guys doing 2 stops. Brucey Harding was on the soft tyre, so that's dropped him down to... Oh, Brucey Harding's all out of shape. He's lost it into turn 1. He just about recovers. But Brucey Harding out of the points now, down to P12, and that promotes Michael Lucky into the points in P10.
Yeah, Suspot had it coming together with Messi at the hairpin. They were fighting there, and I wasn't riding above with them at the moment, but I could see from the mini-map that something happened between the two of them. Suspot does have some damage and is in the pits to get a new front wing, I suppose. And it's unfortunate, it wasn't the race for Suspot. He's in the pits now, getting a new front wing, brand new soft tires, and he will, well, try to finish this race. But yeah, he is not in the best position at the moment. JPH is, he got the move done on a Daryl with him there, with the brand new soft tires.
I think it's been good lap or so for JP, hasn't it? He's got the gap back up to 1.8 seconds now, so he's managed to gain half a second over Louis in second place. So JP doing a good job here. He could sense that he was going to be under some pressure, so it's creeping back up to 2 seconds. So this is a good recovery from JP here after Louis looking like at one point he was going to creep into that DRS section of the we're under 1 second, I should say. So JP doing a solid race. 3 laps left to go. Can JP hold on?
Oh, I definitely will be trying to, but I'm riding aboard with Tinas now, who gets the move done on the outside of Michael Lutke there to get back into the points. Wow, that's a really good move. What a good move there from Tinas to get back into the points. Of course he has a time penalty, but he needs to create the gap, but he's got the tires for it. amazing move. Really good to see. And at this rate, I do think JP will manage to stay in front, mate. I think he got it done. 1.7 a gap, 3 laps to go. That's a tough task to do, to close and do the overtake. And I only just realized Bruce Lee Harding pitted a lap ago, or 2 laps ago.
Yeah.
Why did he do that?
Yeah, I just said that.
I'm sorry then,
yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. Both the Alpine guys have done a 2-stop strategy, but Bruce Lee Harding didn't need to pit again. And he was in the points, so I honestly don't get that strategy.
No.
It's worked out in a way for Jack, who's in 3rd right now, but if you're down in the lower ebbs of points, surely you don't pit again because you're going to find yourself outside of the points. So unfortunately for Bruce Lee Harding, he's not going to score points this evening. He'll be very lucky to even get P11. So yeah, Michael Lucky on 22 old lap hard tyres. No wonder he's was overtaken by Tinas for P10. But just further ahead, with 2 laps to go, Mark, it's got down to one. It's under a second between JP and Louis now.
There we
go.
go.
The fight is on.
Will he have the DRS? Or was he a bit too late to close the gap? Let's see, I think he is able to get the DRS now. So he has the DRS. He will close down, but he is out of the ERS while JP still got 20% left. So JP has a little bit to defend with. Oh, let's see, this final 2 laps will be really good, with a battle for the lead between JP and Louis, both on different strategies. That's what we love to see. Can he do it? Can Louis get the win?
I think he's in prime position here. Look at that, 0.3 seconds. He's almost pushing JP round that left-hander there. JP, I think his medium tyres are pretty much done here. I don't think he's going to have much answer when the next DRS straight comes. JP, I think, might just have to resign the 1st place and just accept 2nd. But you know what racers are like, don't you? They don't give up easily, and JP will want that win, that's for sure. He'll want every point possible if he's going to fight for this championship. But I think he's not going to have much say in it in a minute, because 0.4 of a second, if Louis can stay within 0.4 here, then it should be an easy pass, no?
Yeah, I think so too. But he needs to get it done now, I think. But on the other hand, JP, he is fighting for the title. He needs to get a good result this race, and Louis knows that. So he can just send it on the inside, knowing JP won't take all the risk in the world to take this win. But let's see. DRS, wide open, 3/10. I have a really bad shot. Now it's a bit better. Can he get a move done? No, he is waiting.
Oh.
He is waiting. Can we see if the move for the race win in the final lap? Let's see. Or is JP able to defend? Try to break the toe here. Gap is 3/10. Coming up to turn 1. Louis is still behind. Oh, different line there from Louis to get a better exit for this part of the corner. Ooh, yeah. 3/10. 4/10. He's losing a bit of time here. That's not what he needs. He needs to be closer now. But man, we are doing the final lap of this race, so we have a really close battle for the lead. That's amazing. That's just amazing. 3/10 is the gap. They're coming up to the long back straight.
Oh,
I have
this is
no
going to be
idea.
epic.
No idea.
This is going to be epic.
Yeah, no idea who will come out on top. No penalties whatsoever for both of the drivers. Amazing job from both of them.
Who gets it? Oh, Louis got out of shape in that right-hander. He's lost a couple of tenths there. I was right on board with Louis. That could have cost him. I don't know. That could have cost him the race victory. He's going to get the DRS here, Mark. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Let's
see. I think that snap of oversteer through the right-hander, I think it's cost him.
Yeah, he's not even attempting to do a move. I expected him to do a do or die move there, but he didn't. He didn't do anything. Wow, what a race for those guys. JP takes his checkered flag in P1, Louis into P2. And then we see Jack with an amazing race as well. I believe he started
What a
on
race.
P9, right?
Yeah, P9 on the mediums. The
Amazing.
strategy worked bang on, and a podium. Thoroughly deserved from Jack, that. Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing race. And still a good comeback from Emke as well. Finishes 4th on track, but Efron Richard takes him on penalties. David 46. Talking about comebacks in P6. That's a good effort from the Ferrari driver.
It's a good result for David 46, that after very early on contact, he will be delighted to get back up into the top 6 there.
Definitely, definitely. Oh, Stephen in P7. Daryl Wiffen finishes P8. 9th, Michael Lutke. Tina's in P10. Still scored a point, but he was hoping for more. And this is playing all in the hands of David 46 and JP. Tines is losing the momentum he had in this title fight, I think. Bruce Lee Harding is P11. Then we got JPH P12. Cost and Messi in P13. And Susput in the last position, P14. And one driver who didn't make the finish of this race, Dave De Kale. He retired by himself.
Excellent race, that. And who would you give driver of the day to, Mark, if you had to choose?
For me, it's in between JP and Jack, but I gotta give it to Jack because of his tire choices. And yeah, Jack for me, driver of the day. What about you, mate?
I have to agree. I thought Jack's strategy worked out a treat. I thought we both thought, didn't we, that the 2-stop might have cost him, but in the end, he's got a well-deserved podium.
Yeah, but still, maybe he could have stayed out, but I'm not sure his tires would have lasted. It was a bit of an early stop. But hey, he's got a podium, he's got a fastest lap, so I don't think he will be complaining.
So there is our final results of the evening. Congratulations to the podium, and we've got all 3 podium guys in with us this evening, and we'll start off with tonight's race winner, JP. Congratulations. It's been a tough last few races for yourself. Double DNF, not what you wanted in this championship fight, but you did exactly what you needed to do tonight. Get the maximum amount of points you could possibly get and try and get into that championship battle again, especially knowing David 46 and Tina's had a tougher evening. So how was that for you, and do you think you're still back in this championship fight?
Yeah, it was when I saw David and Tina's, I was quite happy, but at the same time I felt bad for them because they've been very good through the season. But then that just gave me a bit of hope, and I knew I just had to hold on. Louis was extremely quick. I don't know how I managed to hold on. But yeah, that was probably the toughest race I've done so far.
Yeah, I think we'll just hear from Louis in a second, but I believe he had a great opportunity on the last lap to overtake you, but he had a snap of oversteer in that right-hander, which cost him a few tenths. I'll move on to Louis now. Do you think that little snap of oversteer at the end just cost you the race victory?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was pretty much a few laps before the last lap trying to think, oh, well, I'll just do it on the last lap, because if I overtook on the back straight, it's obviously then hard to repass again before the finish line. So I saved up a bit of ARS and then just got a bit too happy before the back straight. And like you say, snap of oversteer, and it just was enough to cause a big enough gap for me to not close enough. So, I mean, congrats JP for the win. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with P2 still, but I'm kind of frustrated with myself, but it happens.
Yeah, it does happen, unfortunately, but overall, I think for yourself and for your team, it's another strong result this evening with Daryl finishing in the points as well. So congratulations on the second place. Shame we couldn't get to see some dive bombs at the end there, but overall, you did a solid race there. Congratulations on the second place. We'll move on to both mine and Mark's drive of the day. Got the fastest lap. Jack, absolutely stunning race from yourself. Got into that top 10 on the mediums, pulled out a two-stop, and got yourself a podium. How does that feel?
Feels fantastic. I won't lie. Yeah, it was a good race. To be honest with you, I was confident on the medium tyres and qualifying. Things went really well, and the first couple of laps, I quickly got up the order. There was a couple of shenanigans going on. A couple of cars flew off, and I just took advantage of it. But it was obvious the softs weren't coping very well at the start, and then managed to extend the mediums quite a bit further than what I was originally planning to, and then jumped on the softs. It wasn't possible, I don't think, to do a one-stop from medium to softs because the soft tyres weren't lasting that long. I was chatting with Bruce Lee and JPH99 about what the strategy they were playing with, and I just thought maybe it'd be best to try and do a double on the softs. And yeah, I'm really chuffed, I won't lie. I'm really, really happy with that. I'd say right at the end, I had a little bit of fuel saving to do, so I couldn't close the gap down. But hey, I'll take a podium. I'm not going to complain.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely fantastic. We were very impressed with your race strategy and in some of your overtakes tonight were absolutely brilliant. So congratulations on that third place, a huge result there for yourself. And just quickly move to our race winner. We've got 2 races left: Hungary and Silverstone. What are those tracks like for yourself? Are you able to carry on what you did tonight?
Well, I hope so. I haven't done any practice on Hungary. I haven't raced Hungary in a long time. Silverstone, I think I'm quite comfortable with, but Hungary will definitely be a challenge. I'm sure there'll be probably a safety car or two as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can have a good battle on track with David and Tinas as well.
Fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to it, Mark. Next week, just 2 races left. Hungary next. Are we going to get the championship going down to the final race of the season? It's looking like it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we will see it going to the end of the season onto Silverstone. You know, if my math is correct, David 46 will have 108 points, and we'll have Tinas on 97, and JP after this amazing race on 96 points. So JP is all the way back into this title fight, I think, and yeah, this is definitely going to Silverstone. So yeah, I say, please do something like today in Silverstone, a fight in the last lap for the championship instead of just the win. That would be amazing. But thanks, guys, for tonight. It was amazing. Some really good racing, and I can't wait to see what you guys can bring around Hungary. But yeah, so far, amazing race again. Everyone who was watching or who watched this race, thank you. If you like what you've seen, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for plenty of more racing, starting tomorrow with the Realistic Performance League. And, well, I hope to see you all next week for the F3 League around Hungary. This was the Invictus Racing League PlayStation F3 League, brought to you in a partnership with gridfinder.com and sponsored by Nailcode Hall. Thank you and have a good night. Bye bye.